Kuma.
Hey, 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 hey.
That guy.
Good, good boy. Good.
Oh, he's eating them. Hey, Kuma.
Our gardeners come on Friday, so the grass is the longest right now.
Glad you have grass.
Well, we just got a new gardener and he decided he wanted to rehab our grass. Can't find it there?
It's actually okay that it's taking longer to find him because he's looking and that's good.
Mm-hmm.
He's losing his nose. Good things come from that.
When he changed, when he got a, we told you that he got an injury. He got away from me and he went after another dog who had a fence.
Yeah.
And he stuck his paw underneath the fence and another dog declawed it. Gloved it, it's called.
Oh shit.
So,
When would that happen? How long ago was that?
a year ago now.
Oh, yeah, my dear.
And so before that, he was never into food, never into marking, never into a lot of things. And then all of a sudden after that happened, he suddenly into food and marking everywhere. These things are really changing.
But you came back to it pretty quickly. And the intensity in the beginning, oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to drop it. They're hard to open. Not that high. Like very low intensity. Growling a little bit, putting up an effort. Not that serious. Okay, let's walk out. Go ahead. I'm just gonna follow you. does like fish. He like meat. I remember you told me he doesn't really like food, and then I had really good stuff. That usually helps.
The meaty stuff, yeah. So you used to.
Yeah, so I used to. Oh, thanks, Kuma. You like these? This is Origin. Origin Regional Red. That's what I'm feeling right now.
They're coconut.
Now, you want to shade a little bit? We'll just hang out with them. Oh.
His hand,
Hmm?
he likes to trim your hand.
Well, that's good. That means he's trusting me more. Oops. They keep falling off. They're hard to hold when you have multiple. One I can hold, right? Multiple is difficult to hold like this.
It is a little dark in the video. I don't know if you care.
What's dark in the video?
You and the dog. It could just be the screen though.
Come around to the other side because you're filming against the sun.
Yeah.
It's actually a good distraction for him. That takes him out of that state of mind. He doesn't take it right now, but the motion gets him out of the state of mind, just like I did with myself. Now it's her. I'm just getting out of it. So when you have a situation that he takes an interest in something, okay, and then give him a chance to get it. Didn't in this case. Come on. Good. Now you're listening to me. Now we're just gonna hang out a little bit. Good girl. Good boy. Good girl. Good boy.
I'm sure he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. We're gonna wait. Not for anything in particular. I want to see how he handles that situation. This situation. Not doing anything. That can be frustrating to dogs, and frustration can be good. So I want to see how he handles doing nothing and not being able to get away with everything and holding him back from that. Again. Keeping an eye on Sarah. Yeah, I know Kuma. You gotta watch her.
I know. Super threatening.
I watch her all day long. Gotta keep an eye on this.
Not creepy.
Cannot be trusted. Good. Good job. Good. So have you been able to work on the arc? Good. Good. Okay. When he rests. So when I say to him, when he falls over there, see, he doesn't turn around right away. Okay, he's lying down. So it's not reflexive. We're working on him responding instantaneously when he does it. I know. So when he hears that sound, he should go, huh? And until he doesn't, keep going. Keep practicing. It takes a lot of reps to get there, but it's worth it. Because if your dog doesn't think about it anymore, and he like staring at a dog, and you go, he looks away. But only if it's a reflexive sound to him. As long as he thinks about, he's gonna say no. in a high arousal situation. So when he sees a dog or he sees a person or something that upsets him, like right now, he's not responding to it because like I'm not sure about what's happening there. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. Is your wife coming? Oh, okay. So I have to keep an eye on this. So he's not listening because he's thinking about what I'm asking. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, mom's home. Kuma.
Sorry to interrupt.
That's fine. No, it's perfect actually.
Mom.
Look what I'm doing. I'm working. Good. 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 Yes. Good job. Good job. Good. Good. Yes. So if he likes Terry that much, yes, you can do this with each other. So you can sit and read a book. He wants to get to her, you do this exercise. So anything he pulls towards, you can do that with. And it doesn't have to be a high arousal item. It doesn't have to be another dog. It actually wouldn't work for us. It should be very low stimulating thing. Good. 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 And we don't think of it. Good. Good. Well, he's Australian Shepherd. That's a herding breed. Herding breeds are smart. You can't be a herding breed and not be smart. It's just not going to work. They make independent decisions about rounding things up. That just doesn't happen with a dummy. It doesn't happen, right? So, Border Collies, Australian Shepherds, Cattle Dogs, Blue Heelers, German Shepherds, they're all herding breeds. They're some of the smartest dogs in the world.
I think we saw in the news somewhere where you can actually take your dog somewhere to herd sheep.
You can.
Herd animals.
Absolutely. If you, there's something out in Riverside. There's a sheep farm, I think. It's called the Pasture, and the guy who runs it's called the Hawk Farmer. I think he has hogs and he has sheep, and he offers meetup groups on meetup.com for herding. So you can go out there. I think it's $30 the first time. He teaches you how this all goes. Part of it is your dog watching other dogs herd. And then once your dog shows that he can, you can just come back for like 15 or 20 bucks every time you show up and just do it on your own and herd his sheep. They want to make sure that it's not going to kill them, right? But yeah, you can go out there and do that. A client of mine did this, he loved it. I personally haven't been with my guys, but I had one or two clients that went out there and they really liked it. It's called The Pasture, and the guys were hog fodder. I think if you go to meetup.com and search for group herding or herding class or something like that, just herding, it'll come. Because that's why I found it originally. Yeah. Good job. That also helps with confidence. So when you have a breed that has a natural tendency towards something or a natural desire, harnessing that and giving your dog something to do in that space that he has just wants to do anyway is a huge confidence booster. So that can help tremendously with everything else because this is insecurity, right? So the more I raise the dog's confidence in whatever context I can do it in, it will generalize out. Dogs are great at generalizing things. They're not very good niche operators. They generalize most behaviors. Oftentimes that can work against us, but it can also work for us. So with people it's more mixed. But some people generalize well, some people don't. I think most people probably don't, is my guess. I don't know. There may be some is. But I think I mentioned Tony Robbins before, right? The cold walker. So people who generalize well, that's a beautiful exercise. People who don't become expert of cold walkers, but that's about it. So dogs generalize excellently. How easy is that? So, keep doing these exercises, but the other thing you want to do, you want to challenge him to things he's a little bit unsure about. Now that was me up to this point, right? And now it's still Sarah, and we'll take him out of what we're doing. We're not just 1 minute to do this. But things he's just not 100% sure about are perfect to walk around. And you use this exercise of, good, yes, to do something very familiar. Bring him back and like realizing around that thing, that's not really a big problem. I can handle this. And he says, okay, that's fine. So you help him overcome little obstacles. You can do this in your yard. Let's say he doesn't want to go near a cactus. Take him on leash and walk him towards that cactus slowly. Don't drag him towards it, that's not good. But just work him around the cactus and bring him slower. He doesn't want to go over an obstacle. He doesn't want to go on a launcher. He doesn't want to hop up on something. He doesn't want to take a tree that's under a bench. All these things you can work with. It doesn't matter what the obstacle is. Any obstacle Kuma is uncomfortable with, you can use this kind of exercise around and the tree drops and all that to help him become more confident and raise it up. Anything you notice. I'm going to film some videos on ideas. So some of the things I'm going to do is a puzzle. It can be frustrating to go to solve a puzzle, but there's trees inside the puzzle. So there's a motivation to get to the tree. There's wonderful puzzles you can buy on Amazon. There's a company in the Netherlands called Nina Artisan, or Sweden. Netherlands is Nina is Nina, and Artisan is Ottisen, I think. They make amazing dog puzzles. All kinds of dog puzzles. Great exercise for your dog where you can help overcome obstacles. If you have a balance board, if you have there's a company called FitPaws. They make all kinds of fitness equipment for dogs. One of them is a big blow-up cushion with texture. Getting a dog to step a foot on there can be quite interesting. It's a great exercise for balance and muscle strength. That's what they're made for. But a lot of dogs don't want to set their feet on that. That's another thing. You should dry food, right? Okay. Take it's not ideal. Take a baby pool or something, a bigger box, fill it with empty water bottles. Throw his kibble in there. Let him eat from that obstacle. You have to stick your head into these empty bottles to get to your food. And let it sit there. It's all day long, but that's where you eat. That's where you stick your head into eat. He will. He gets hungry, he will stick his head in there, and then he has to deal with the sound and all these obstacles.
You see projects like trash bags.
Good. Yeah, so anything that he's unsure about, use it. Use it and just drop the treats and do the exercise of, good, yes. To snap his mind out of it, bring him back into focus, and then do a couple until he's fine with the trash bag. Or the lawnmower, or the vacuum cleaner, or the leaf blower, laundry basket, whatever it is, right? Folding laundry. Folding laundry. You fold the laundry, you work them around, you're doing that. So any obstacle that you can help him overcome helps him become more confident. And the more confident he becomes, the less of this you have. Because all this reactivity is anxiety and insecurity. See, now I'm standing here, I'm waving my arms around, he does not care. He would have eaten me alive the first couple of weeks if I just like took a step or raised my arm around, he does not care about it. So, and you do that and you'll see his confidence go up and up and up, and the obstacles he can overcome become bigger and bigger and bigger. And the overall journey for him is probably another year to get him to the end state where he doesn't care about anything, but keep pushing down higher. Obviously, I'm going to hear for a while longer. Of this half hour variety. So we'll do more of it, but you can do this in your daily life. Whatever you find, you see, he doesn't like that. He's unsure about this TV show. Can I rewind that? Oh my God, there's a dog on TV. He doesn't like it. Okay, let's use that. If you have TiVo or something, whatever, go back 30 seconds, and we're going to do that now 10 minutes until you get comfortable with this. Does that make sense? So that's the confidence raising principle. Did I ever send you the box feeding system? Did I or did I not? Oh, yeah. Did you like it? Yeah. That was fun. That's gonna be another one. It hasn't aired down here yet, I think. She told me she would tell me when it airs in LA. And I think she wants to film another one in July, end of June or July, for I think NBC. Or probably with area. But so the box feeding is also a confidence building exercise. I just actually updated the version that I had. I rewrote it a little bit because there were some things that weren't quite right. But now it is right. And that's also a confidence building protocol. And the way this works is, and this sounds stupid, my dog eats from a box. What the hell? Oh, I do this. right? This is not ridiculous. But for a lot of dogs, sticking their head in a box where they can't see out for a period of time, if it's to eat. But that's a little intimidating. So oftentimes you just put the box up inside, and the dog is just like, I'm not doing that. And it's really just a deeper hole at the end of the day. It's not that it's a big deal. Right? But it starts off with, here's a box, like this high, maybe even a little higher than this container. And this food ball goes in there. So now he has to stick his head in there. Once he sticks his head in there and eats, that's step one. You basically accomplished round number one of this. The next step is you only put a little bit of starter food in there to tip him to take an interest, go in, start eating, and then you start dropping food. You have like the rest, let's say this is food, right? You take a couple of kibbles, put them inside, load up your hands, he eats. Once he's done, drop another one. Once he's done, drop another one. Drop another one. Drop another one. Inside the box where he's eating, in that box now. So now you do it without a food bowl. You just have a box and you drop food in there. And now he's done eating, drop another one. Drop another one. Drop another one. Take a little break. If he takes his head out, drop another one. Drop another one. If he stops, then you would stop feeding at that point. But you just keep him engaged and start taking little breaks. Once that becomes a rock solid process and you can take a 30-second break from dropping anything and you keep his head in there waiting, you're done with round two. Because now you have a dog who's developed the confidence to shut the world out and just trust this operation, and waiting. Next step, in these breaks of dropping food, you add sounds. Tap the box, clap your hands, rattle something. Now you build external distractions in as much as he can handle, and you build that up. So he will keep his head in there ultimately. That's the goal, to keep his head in there. No food drop, and he will withhold any distractions you put up. That's the build up. So you build up his confidence higher and higher and higher. You can build a really confident dog that way. It takes a while, but it's also a beautiful process around his food. Because now it's about eating. And it's not extra food, it's his food. It's his regular food. Cool. Yes. So I'll send you that. I'll email you that. I'll send it to a couple of people this week. I forgot if I'll send it to you as well. But I will email you that later today. I bought my box at Target for $15 or something like that. You can build one. I mean, it doesn't matter.
A storage container.
It could be a storage container. It can be a plastic bucket. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet. Now we're eating kibble. I don't even have good stuff anymore. It's good to kill it. Ideally,
what is the licking sign of?
well, I have food there, but also appeasement is also trusting me. You know? It's affection. It's an affectionate behavior. We trust
all day, all night. Every time you walk by, he sticks his tongue out and licks.
It can be appeasement behavior. It can be anxiety. In this case, I trust you. You have some food. This tastes good. I don't mind. Oftentimes, when dogs just come up and lick you, it's very sweet. It's sweet. If it's not frantic or just nervousness that they can't stop it, there's that too, like nervous licking that just can't stop licking. It's constant. That's not good. Right? When the dog comes up and licks a little bit, that's usually sweet. Nice. So one other thing in that box feeding thing, there is an indicator item. It's like a washer that's in that box while you're eating. The point of that is to teach him when the bar is open, when the bar is closed. So ideally you have that box standing in the corner of the living room, and you only put the washer in when there's food available. You can take the washer out when food's not available. So he also learns when the bar is open, when the bar is closed. And it's another element of teaching focus. Because once you stop the food trickle, and he's gotten used to the washer and there being food with a washer, what dogs will often do, they start staring at the washer. Because they think the washer will eat the food. Because it kind of does. And then they start to meditate. They're basically just meditating in a box. And what's the point of meditation? But when people meditate, they say, oh, put everything out of your mind. Focus on nothing, or focus on this, or focus on that. Don't think of anything else. Just, Of course you can't do that. You always start thinking. You start thinking of nothing. Did I do the laundry? Did I fold this over there? I have to think of nothing. Did I put the house? I have to think of nothing. Then I wrote today was I have to think of nothing. So So your mind drifts away, and you always have to push it back to like, I'm not supposed to think of it, because you can't really not think of it. It's just not normal. But that's the point of meditating. The point of meditating is not to think of nothing. The point of meditating is to always bring your mind back to it. Put this out of your mind. Put that away. Push that thought away. That's the point, really. And that's what the dog is doing. Like, there's a sound now, but I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to commit to this task. And that sound is irrelevant. That noise is irrelevant. That wind, whatever it is irrelevant. And that's a confidence thing. You can't do that if you don't trust the operation. But all of that is a little element of building confidence. As weird as that sounds, it works beautifully. And I know it sounds weird. When I first read it, I said, but there is a video of the guy who teaches this with his own Malinois. This dog is already confident. That's not a weak dog. But what he taken this dog to using this is crazy. So he has this can. How's it called? Can. How do you call this? This thing with the string in the cans has a name.
I don't remember.
It's a bar with 5 strings down and empty cans attached to it. A can curtain. It's called a can.
Oh, a curtain. Yeah, yeah.
So you have 5 empty cans on each string, 5, 6 string, and it makes a tremendous amount of noise. So he has his dog eating in there, and he's taking a break, and there's no food, and the dog's just keeping his head in there. And he has this can curtain, and he goes nuts. And he just goes over the dog too. It's not just that he makes noise. No, he bangs it over the dog, and the dog just doesn't care. And he got that done with box feeding, because most dogs are like, what the hell? And then just to top it off, to show how confident his dog is, he brings out a leaf blower. And he powers that thing up, and it's loud. And it's not just the noise, he tries to blow the dog out of the box. Like literally, like I'm gonna blow you out of that thing. He's holding position. You're not probably gonna get Kuma to that point. But the point is, it shows to the level you can go with a dog that has the ability to be that confident. You don't need him to be there, you just need him to be solid. So don't bring a leaf blower out, right? If you ever get there, yay. You don't have to make a leaf curtain either. But you can bang your pans, you can put the dishes. Have him do it while you're doing the dishes, that makes noise. Or you do the laundry, or do something that makes sound. And then bang against the box with something as you go, yes. So you build it up. One step at a time. You don't start with sounds until everything else is solid. And all of that raises his confidence level. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these are all little things you can add in as we do this. And as long as he still reacts to me initially, what he did for like, I don't know, half a minute, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing here, and then we'll start walking out a little bit and getting more comfortable. He's 90% comfortable with me, but not 100. He's still keeping an eye on me. He's happy I give him food, he's not charging me, he's not barking at me. I walk in the first time, he has like a little fit. Like, ooh, So we want to use me as an obstacle as long as we can to just help him overcome things. Good boy, Kuma.
He's tired.
He is. But this is mentally exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, that's nothing, but like, he has to control his impulses. He has to regulate his behavior. He has to like observe things. That is mentally exhausting. It really is. If you have to focus on something for an extended period of time, you don't realize why you're in it, but afterwards you're like, when I run these socials that I do every Thursday with the dogs, and I have all these loose dogs, in like 10 dogs or so around me that are all loose and I have to watch them all at all times. I'm on high alert the whole time. After we're done and everybody's back on leash, I'm exhausted. I don't notice it while I'm in it because the adrenaline is flowing, but afterwards I'm really down. That is the same here, it's just mentally exhausting. It seems like we're doing nothing, but we are not doing much, but he is doing a lot. He is dealing with all of this. He is dealing with me.
And Sarah.
And Sarah.
Mm. Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Was that one for me?
Yeah. He really likes this kibble. This is cool. I one I suggested before that you feed him if you ever want to switch the food to something high quality, kilo-wise. Ouch! My finger. Sharp teeth, buddy. Good. 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 Yes. Come on. Come on, you see that down there?
Kind of go up and then see a car.
Good job, Kuma. Stay where you are, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were both on the side of the street by the golf course, exchange information.
Good, Kuma. Good boy. You wanna get those, Kuma? You see it over there? See, there you go. Kuma, go there. I know. Get it. Good job, Kuma. Another one. Good. That was an obstacle that seems like nothing to us, but he was a little hesitant of doing this because I have to walk past this one. This is what I mean, look for little obstacles. And you help him. We're going to do this again. That wasn't something he was just able to do. I'm going to walk past you and just take that. Good.
I have very interesting shoes. Thank you. He was just saying hi.
Don't worry. We're dog people. We're used to having dogs.
We know what dog handshakes look like. I take it as a compliment.
A dog trainer that I'm studying at GSC Club with, she has this gigantic Rottweiler in Palm, and he never liked me. It was like 6 weeks ago, so we finally had a come together, and he started taking a liking to me.
Yeah.
But then he stuck his gigantic snout into my crotch. I was like all wet from the slobber. He slobbered so much, it looks like I peed myself. It's a great picture actually. I was just looking at him like, what the it's just this. Nice. So I just did something I have never done before. I just started, but I had the food and I rotated my hand quickly in front of his nose. He didn't flinch, so that's good. Because that's right there, and it's a sudden movement. So.
Forgot how to swallow.
Still too scary, huh?
Well, his collar just went across my leg and stopped him, put a little pressure on his neck.
Oh, okay, the collar brushed past you?
Yeah, and
Okay.
it like pushed against him. So I think he was
So
like...
if he hits an obstacle with a collar, he also, he doesn't move just past it, it's a little... That's good to know. Right? So if you walk him on a leash, walk him close past by something and see what happens. If his collar bumps into it, will it stop him? If it does, that's also something to use. It's these little things that... This should be a non-issue, right? So you should not stop because his collar brushed up against anything. It's his collar. I'm gonna bring you a Velcro thing. I started making them. I made one for my own dog, and I got myself a little hand stitcher. So I'm gonna make a whole bunch of them now for my clients who have them, so you can clip this in.
Or we could trim it. We could trim it.
I wouldn't trim it. It's so nice.
Okay.
I've seen people trim it. It doesn't come out as beautifully as it is now. when you tuck it into not a Velcro, into an elastic, that's just on the collar. It's beautiful. I've done it on my own dog first, Kelso. I did that by hand just to see if that would work. I'm gonna make him a new one too. Now that I know that it does work, I'll make a nice one. I bought this big roll so I can make a lot of these. It's gonna be pretty quick.
He's been working for 35 minutes already.
35 minutes, that's
Yeah.
good. Come on, buddy. And I don't see any problem with him continuing. So that's good too. Last time it was, I think, 33, 34.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop there.
And he's not tired of the kibble yet.
No, he's not. He's just engaged and he's not. It's good. Just keep going. Let's keep going, buddy.
Yeah, we are cutting down on his food a little.
He's getting a little chunky.
So you're hungry.
That's good.
That's
He's
awesome.
good, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like overweight. I mean, a little bit maybe, but not overweight. Like he trim a little bit. But overall, he looks good.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of weight.
Okay.
It's always nice to train a hungry dog.
A little more
Look,
motivation.
I can't even get Kelsey to put any weight on. His bones, like his hip bones, are sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't believe how much food this dog eats. He eats 10 cups of raw food a day, which is normal. All my dogs can have that. He's a big boy. Actually, he eats more because he gets a little bit of the other dogs that are smaller. He probably has like 13, 14 cups of food.
He's so
And then
tall.
he gets hands full of these treats. And he gets the Happy Howie, probably a third of a roll a day because I train a lot with him. He eats and eats and eats.
Yeah, you can see his ribs. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just, yeah. But he's really tall.
He's
How old is he?
under 3 years.
Yeah, so he's still got a lot of muscle to pack on.
But I'm training him for sport and I'm training him on some movie tricks and I work with him a lot. So he has like a half an hour of work every day where he eats just lots of treats. And still, you would think I'm starving this poor animal.
I think there's an ant on me.
He probably eats 5 cups of kibble a day on top of his raw food because he's constantly getting it in training.
Yeah.
It's really amazing how much food this guy eats. And he's happy to work for every piece of output he never stops. He's like, yeah, well, sure, I'll work for more.
Yeah, my shepherd eats
Problem.
5 cups in his regular food and then treats and kibble on top of that.
And he's also super lean.
He's so skinny.
He's skinny. Good. Well, let's see.
Whoa.
So
Isn't
that
too
was
bad.
obviously a little push too much.
He didn't like.
You want to explore
Extend
that?
release.
There's some food in there. So don't dump it in there. Would be like starting point. But no, he was a little.
Mhm.
Let's see.
He didn't stretch out the collar and the
No.
leash.
Let's see if we can work them into comfort. This is great. It makes
It's a
noise.
fragile.
Little. Cool. But he's not blowing up. He's just a little.
Do you think he would do it with one of them holding the
Oh yeah,
leash?
he'd probably be more comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's still noise. Come on. And it's not at him, right? It's just making sound in front of him.
His head is tilting.
He's not being addressed in this process at all. That's another thing. It's not at him. There's nothing to do with him. I don't know about this. Yes.
Nice.
That's the longest we've ever worked with him.
Good boy.
Good. These skills, I like it. Yes.
Okay, you have that nose maker.
Good. 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 Yes.
Well, there's your threshold.
Give me the eye on that.
Good. Good.
There's a lizard in there. He'll
Uh-huh.
chase it.
Good. Yes.
It's gonna go down.
There is one, huh? Cool. Good. Good. Yes.
Thank you, baby. Good boy.
Uh-huh. Good. Good. Uh-huh. Good. Good. Yes. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Uh-huh. Good. Good. Yes. Good job. Uh-huh. Good. Good. Yes.
Says, I like you, but not that blackbird.
It's actually fascinating to me how sensitive dogs are. Like this kind of really. So, I mean, some dogs are. Oh, that was Dad. But he didn't flinch. He didn't try to bite me. He didn't think it was me. Boy.
At least you know you can use this kibble now. So at least you know you can use this kibble now.
Yeah.
It's interesting how he's staying in flight mode and not going back to fight.
Another thing that's improved is eardrops.
Mm-hmm.
Big time. Before he would just growl at us. And
Uh-huh.
He'd never let us put drops in his ears.
And now he lets you.
Yeah.
Good.
That was a big step. And I think the vet noticed too, because we just took him in for shots. So he wasn't too bad. He was better than before.
How far are you to Garden Grove? Not that far.
30 miles.
35, 40 minutes.
There is there's a clinic they call Hemo. Yep, I think. Dr. Jean Das is one of the canine vaccine experts in the country, and she will titer anything before she gives any vaccine shot. Meaning she will test for antibodies. To even do you even need one? Do you even need a shot? Because if your dog has she does it for a reason, it does. If your dog has antibodies for parvo at this temper, there's no point in shooting off again.
Yeah.
And the studies on these are like 5 to 7 years minimum duration, so the annual is actually unnecessary. She's also the one behind the Rabies Challenge Fund, together with Howard Schultz, which is another veterinarian. They're trying to change the rabies laws to 5 years. And they're studying 7 years right now, and it's also rabies vaccines last 7 years. I read in a book a long time ago that, well, it's like our immune system. Right. So if you ever had the measles, you can never get the measles again, because your immune system knows how to deal with the measles.
I had the measles twice.
You had the measles twice?
I had it when I was a child, and I got it when I was like 22.
I've never heard of that.
But I've never had the chicken pox, and so I asked my internist if I should have a chicken pox vaccine, and he said, well, let me do some blood work first. And he said, you have antibodies in your system, even though you've never had the disease, so I'm not going to give it to you. So, yeah.
Are you sure you didn't have chicken pox instead of the measles?
No, no.
I've never anybody having the measles.
Yeah.
Was it different types of measles, probably?
Yeah, it
Must have been. I mean, must have. It's like,
anyway.
Once you had a disease, that particular virus, once you had a flu, that flu, you're never going to get it. There's a million. There's a million. Yeah, exactly. There's a million other flus you can get. But that one, you're never going to get. Because your body has antibodies at that point. But let's say your body doesn't fight that ever again. At some point, the antibodies go away. But you retain what's called memorial immunity. Your immune system knows how to deal with that flu virus. If you ever have that flu virus, if you're exposed to it again, you may feel a little squeezy for a day or two, but your body will not let you get sick because he knows how to deal with that, and your immune system will start making antibodies again. So within a couple of days, your antibodies will be off the chart because the pathogen is there again. And that's the exact same thing in dogs. So memorial immunity never goes away. So if you had 2 types of measles, I didn't know there were 2 types, but there must be because.
Those times I went to my doctor and say, yeah, you got the measles, red measles, the one that's going on right now.
That makes no sense actually. Okay, I don't dispute that you had the measles twice, but are you done?
Mm-hmm.
You want to look in the box?
Be a surprise for later.
Well, I guess he's done today. How long has it been? 45 minutes?
47.
47, cool. A 45-minute session. Just the first one? Good job. Okay,
And we're done,
he's
yeah.
done. He's done.